What's up, y'all? It's Andrew here from HoopLife. I am going to introduce you folks to an organization here in a moment that has done some amazing things here in Regina, in our community, but also for HoopLife. When you think of HoopLife and the things we've done the last 8 years, everything from this amazing building to the things that our team has done in the community, it was made possible by, of course, the work of our team, but there's one organization that has had our backs and the backs of all the kids in HoopLife the last 8 years. They've done some amazing work with us. They've supported us year after year after year. And because of them, we've been able to do this building. We've been able to do camps and leagues all throughout the year. And that group is called Harvard Western Insurance. All right, and we're here with the man, Mike Hordichuk from Harvard Western Insurance. Thanks for being here in HoopLife today.
Oh, thanks for having us, Andrew, and thank you for that gracious introduction, and we're happy to be here in your beautiful facility. What a great place.
Yeah, man. No, I mean, like I say, you guys have been a huge part of what we've done at HoopLife, and it's been cool because it's not every day you see someone like HoopLife be able to take on a private facility like this. And it's a lot of credit to the support you guys have given us over the years. And I know community means a lot to Harvard. I used to work at Harvard actually back in the day, way back in the day, selling insurance, which, you know, we had a great insurance conversation before this interview even started. But community means a lot to Harvard. And that's something that Harvard's, I can speak firsthand over the last decade of watching Harvard make investments into the community, and I really appreciate it, man, because all of the work that we've done here, and yeah, it's a beautiful facility, but ultimately the kids are the ones who win. I mean, if I had access to a facility like this when I was 10 years old, 12 years old, that would have been awesome. And you think of mentorship and this is kind of the first question I want to ask you, and when you think of mentorship, a lot of times our youth are developed more in the extracurricular side than the actual school system. And so on your end, speaking from Harvard, why is it important that Harvard sponsors and gets involved with a program like HoopLife? Why do you guys keep doing it? What is it about this program and this partnership that you see so much value in?
You know, Andrew, absolutely. HoopLife checks the community box of our values. Our values are crisp, community, respect, integrity, service, and professionalism. And you know, being a part of an organization like HoopLife, supporting the growth and the development of the youth in this organization is definitely something that we're happy and supportive in our community.
Yeah, it's I appreciate it. And community it's a buzzword that a lot of companies use and hear it all the time. We're actively here in that extracurricular space, and like obviously schools are important, incredibly important, right? But I think that we must reach youth at that extracurricular level. And you know, it's funny, there were studies that came out last year that we were reading that there's actually been parents more in the last 5 years, there's parents that are actually paying and counting on extracurricular things like a basketball program or a different sports program to help mentor and pour character development into their kids. And so it's something that goes beyond school. I think they both go hand in hand. I think just as important as school is, extracurricular programs like HoopLife, it's the bedrock of our society. If we want our society to thrive and be healthy, then we got to pour back into the kids. And so you talked a lot about Harvard's values and community being one of those values. Talk about the companies that have also come alongside you folks in helping achieve, you know, ultimate community investment from a fiscal standpoint, from you know, providing people reading at school, like different employees and stuff. And you guys have done so many different community things, but talk about some companies that have come alongside and said, hey, we agree with those values and we want to be a part of it too.
Absolutely. Harvard Western Insurance partners with Red River Mutual as well on this initiative, and they're happy to be partnered with HoopLife. When we presented the opportunity to them, they were on immediately. They didn't have to think too long and hard about it. They also value community, and they want to support and be a part of those initiatives that their brokers are a part of. So, Harvard being on the front of it at the local level, Red River, puts a certain amount of faith and trust in our decisions in terms of how we allocate, our funds, and they were happy to be a part of that with us.
One thing I want to bring up too is when you think of our partnership together, it started with this program called Boost Kids, and it's something obviously at HoopLife that we still run. Boost Kids is for at-risk youth that are in need of financial assistance to be partnered with local companies like Harvard Western, and essentially the company and the child are partnered together, and they work together throughout the year, and those kids are able to come to HoopLife for the whole year. And so we started that program at the very beginning of our partnership, which is now going on year 8. And so you folks, as we saw earlier in the flashback to the sponsorship you had with Caleb is still in HoopLife. He's going into grade 9. You guys first started sponsoring him when he was in grade 1. What's it been like to not just support HoopLife generally, but actually be able to sponsor a child and then watch them go from grade 1 all the way to grade 8?
Oh, it's been very satisfying, to be honest with you. We have a picture of Caleb up in our office. Just before I came, we were having the discussion at lunchtime about it, and referred one of my coworkers to go to have a peek around the corner at Caleb's picture just to see how far he's come along, how much he's grown.
That's awesome.
Youth and mentorship and development of youth in our community is important. Whether it's our parent organization, the Hill Group of Companies, and their involvement with Mother Teresa Middle School and mentoring kids through different Hill Business School to university, as well as our involvement with the United Way. We think that getting to kids at an age where they're impressionable, where they can be advantaged by a program, and a program such as HoopLife, let's say, in this circumstance, it's definitely something that fits perfectly in with our values, and we're happy at that influential stage of their life to become involved in their life, and not just for a short period of time to carry them through. So it's very nice to be able to look back and see the great work that you folks have been doing with Caleb, and how far our support has taken him through our partnership with you.
Yeah, that's awesome. And it's safe to say that basketball is Harvard Western's favorite sport?
I'm frankly...
Or is the partnership with the Rough Riders, does that trump the partnership with HoopLife? I'm just wanting to know where we stand in the order of the great organizations you guys support.
Well, I was thinking I would have gone into the NBA if it wasn't for my esteemed career in insurance, but...
and bad knee. Right?
And my bad knee, yes,
Yeah.
exactly. But, partnership with the Saskatchewan Rough Riders, that's a different type of an arrangement. Of course, we want to see our Rough Riders win, and as well as support our community in that regard too. So, but
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So here's another question. So you have kids yourself. When you think of a program, and there's lots of great companies in Regina. There's lots of great companies all across Saskatchewan. When you think of why other companies perhaps would want to get involved with someone like HoopLife, and speaking from I have 3 kids, you have multiple kids, why is it so important that kids play sports? What is it about sports that's important? Is it just about a ball going in a hoop, or what is it, from your opinion, that sports and the things that get our heart rate going, why is that so important?
There's just so many great things that sports can teach our youth, whether that's teamwork, working with others, learning to play on a team and leverage each other's skills and strengths. And I think teamwork and sports contribute to the development of a young individual. I think that the being involved in sports, can keep a young individual on the right path.
Yeah,
I think
totally.
there's a lot of pulls and pushes this way and that way that our youth are forced to contend with, that they perhaps wouldn't have been forced to contend with in the past, or maybe they have, but notwithstanding that, sports will keep them focused, keep them busy when they're outside of school.
It's the greatest teacher, because you think of sports, playing on a basketball team, for example, you're learning everything from success to failure to frustration to leadership to winning, losing, like the list goes on. And so when you get into life and you face these hard challenges that social media and giving kids technology at a young age is ramping up the stress and anxiety of everyone. I mean, it ramps my anxiety up, and I'm 30 years old. I can't imagine what a 10-year-old's going through at this age using all these apps. And so that's the one thing that we really believe in is kids got to stay active, and you have to be in something that's going to teach you the life lessons. Because then when you get to your job in life and you're 21, you're 22, and you're starting out, you can remember, hey, I was 12 years old. I remember that failure that I had, but I remember how I was able to persevere through it. And in sports, that's what we always say, it's the greatest teacher. And so, no, I appreciate what you guys have done, and no, it's been awesome. When you guys first got involved and you were able to see, and I know that we send you see the multiple updates from Caleb going kind of throughout the year, and now it's been 8 years of that. What are some key things that kind of stand out in terms of watching his development? You also have your own kids to see, but what are some main things that being involved in Hoop Life has done, and from your perspective in his life, reading the updates, seeing the videos and things like that?
Well, I think just giving him the opportunity, or helping to give him the opportunity that he wouldn't otherwise have. I don't think there is a lot of organizations in this city that offer the type of opportunities that you offer those youths. So watching him grow and develop. I mean, I got a chance to play him in basketball last year, and yeah, it gave me a run for my money, that's for sure. And earlier, you're absolutely right. Kids take forward these experiences in their life from a young age, and if they're not impressed upon it at a young age, then it's difficult for them to know, in certain circumstances how to behave, as an adult. So when they go into the workforce, when they have to work on teams, when they have to get along with people who are different from them, just the lessons and the key takeaways that they got achieved as a youth in sports, I think they pull from that and they draw from that throughout their lives. So I think he's learning. So I think one of the most satisfying things for us is just knowing, as a person with older kids, some of the life lessons that they would take forward with them, and although they may not be fully realized right now, they will be at a point in time in the future when they're going to be needed.
What would you say to it's a small community in Saskatchewan. We have a little over 1 million people. There's lots of small businesses. Small business is the bedrock of Saskatchewan economy. You take that out, there's not a lot left. And so what would you say to other companies, other people in your position, that you hear these community values and everyone says they want to help out, but what would you tell other companies from being a part of Harvard for now going on year 14 for you? You've been there for a long time in an executive position. What would you say to someone else who maybe is an executive or a business owner throughout Saskatchewan, why they should get involved with the community and why it actually does matter? And a lot of people could say everyone will, the big companies, they'll all do their things to invest in community, but why does that matter from your point of view? What impact does that have? Yeah,
definitely. Going back in my career, not just at Harvard, but in various other disciplines, capacities, I've been involved in things like this, whether it's from a marketing standpoint or a support standpoint, they go hand in hand. And I think to not just look at it in terms of money in, money out. We're going to invest in this because we expect a return on our investment, or we expect the visibility that we're going to get from it. I think those things definitely are part and parcel to it, but I think also looking at it from an impact perspective. What's the impact that you're going to have? I think sometimes that may get missed, and I think when you're working in the community, I think youth, if you're looking to have the greatest impact, I think the greatest focus one could have to have that said impact would be on the youth. I think I think the Boost program that we're involved in, following Caleb through his life for the past 8 years, watching him have opportunities that he wouldn't otherwise have, watching him progress, learn the sport of basketball, be a, hopefully ultimately a leader in his community and take that forward into his adulthood. I think, there's measurables that we've seen so far, but there's also, unrealized potential in the future that is going to come from this opportunity. So I would say to those businesses, focus first on the impact that you can have, and go with that.
I love that. That's good. We always say too, like, we're here generally, if it wasn't for the actual impact we'd have in kids, we wouldn't be here. That's the priority, and we understand that. The thing we always tell businesses that are coming in, because right now we have over 35 Boost kids at HoopLife.
Wow.
Which is crazy because you guys were probably you sponsored the first kid. I think Caleb was number 1 or number 2 in the program, which is very cool to see. So, that's like a classroom full of kids that are coming, and you could come to HoopLife on any given night and you wouldn't even know who's a Boost kid or not, which is beautiful because those kids are just given the opportunity. But the one thing we always say is there's 2 reasons why companies do it. A, the most important reason is we're changing a life. You have this evergreen impact that you're going to make on Caleb's life that he'll remember forever, and he'll remember the times that he spent with you in the video and all of the updates that he's writing. He'll remember forever that, hey, Harvard Western, they gave me this opportunity to come to HoopLife. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be able to come, and that's amazing. Second thing is, we tell companies this all the time, and it kind of like, when we're doing these talks, it's like, it's so about the kids, and that is the reason we're here. But the one thing I want you to know is that on our end, we have 5,000 families that are all come from affluent parts of the city, and so it's important for us also to not just say, hey, thanks for helping Caleb, but it's also important for us to push our families to say, go support Harvard Western Insurance. Yeah. They are a company that are doing amazing things in the community. And so what would you say also to that standpoint? Because we support community and we do that because it's the right thing to do. But also, I think businesses don't realize that call it karma, call it whatever you want, it comes back around.
Oh, absolutely.
And the more that you pour into your own community, it's going to help your business out. So what would you say on that standpoint?
Well,
talking right to the business owner.
Yeah, definitely. And given HoopLife and what you do in this organization, you being local, so I can come and see the impact firsthand. And the impact is at a local level. We get a tremendous amount of requests to support the community, and to be frank, we try and accommodate as many as we can, because yes, we believe that as long as it flows with our values and we can justify what we're giving back. We know whether it's measurable or not. It can't always be tangible. You can't always measure it directly, but you have to believe and know that does come back around. So I think that's key to understand, that when you venture into that area, not to always look for the immediate tangible return, that there could be delayed payoffs, that there could be future advantages and impacts in the community and impacts in the individuals that you're making, whether it's perceived immediate or not. So just to keep that in mind when you're making determinations and considerations, because everybody has only so much money to spend. Like, let's be honest. So as long as you have a set of values that you're going to adhere to, and then you invest that money according to that set of values. For us, it happens to be community. I'm not saying that everybody has to have our exact set of values, but as long as you have a guiding principle that you're going to spend that budget based upon, the payoffs come, and there's always a time delay, but they do come.
Totally.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome, man. Well, let's wrap it up there.
Sure.
Appreciate you coming, and always, man, it's great. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you, man.